So in previous lecture we have finished with the dielectric constant and its effect on the overall rate constant of a given reaction. Okay, now we will start with the second effect, that is the effect of ionic strength on the rate constant of a given reaction. So in previous semester we have tried to solve the examples in which we have tried to find out the overall ionic strength of a given solution. So what are the formulas that we have used there? So the formula that we use there is the ionic strength of a solution is given by 1 by 2 summation of what? Mi zi square. Okay, where Mi is what? The molarity of a given ions, or yes, it is the molarity of given ions, and Zi is what? The charge of that particular ion. So if it is the univalent or unibivalent or unitrivalent or bitrivalent, so depending upon the various types of ions, the ionic strength of a given solution will vary. So we have to like find out the uh, overall ionic strength of a given solution, and in the this point we will try to actually see the effect of ionic strength on the rate constant of a given reaction. So how that ionic strength of a given solution will affect this rate constant. So for your practice you can like try to solve this example, that is 100 ml solution of dilute solution of this. Okay, solution, what is that? The 25 ml of 0.25 molar potassium sulfate and the 25 ml of 0.3 molar aluminum sulfate. Okay, so if you have like uh, solve this example in the previous semester, there is no problem for the solving these examples again here. Okay, so try to solve these examples and try to find out the ionic strength or the overall ionic strength of a given solution. So the overall ionic strength of the solution should be comes out to be the answer, which is around 1.312. Okay, so that is the effect of ionic strength of the or the overall ionic strength of this solution. Now next point is the effect of ionic strength and its derivation. Okay, so we'll try to see the derivation of this part. Okay, so the ionic strength of a given solution can be obtained by this value, and there is one famous equation that we will use for this derivation purpose, which is the Debye-Hückel limiting law. Okay, Debye-Hückel limiting law, which is what? Log of gamma I, which is equals to minus of a into z square into under root of capital I. Okay, where gamma is what? Gamma is the mean ionic activity coefficient, a is the pre-exponential factor, zi is the charge of the ions, and I is what? I is the ionic strength of a solution, which is obtained by the above equation, which is what? This I is equals to 1 by 2 summation of mi zi square. Okay, so this is the formula for ionic strength of a given solution. Now about the ions, there is what? Electrostatic forces of attraction. So this electrostatic force of attraction will affect the overall velocity constant or the rate constant of a given reaction. So this velocity indirectly we can say that this rate constant or velocity constant, it depends upon the ionic charges, and the ionic charges are related to what? Ionic strength of overall solution, because the formula contains what? Its concentration and the charges. So we can say that this ionic strength is directly related with what? Rate constant. So according to this Jerram theory, the reacting ions first reacted to form the activated complex, and this activated complex will further break down into the given product. Okay, so he has considered the general equation by like representing this, that is ion A having the charge of ZAB, ion B having the charge of ZAB are in equilibrium with activated complex formed by this ion A and B having the charge of what? ZA plus ZB, that is overall charge is the addition of the two reacting ions. So this reacting complex or the activated complex will gives you the product. Okay, and the product formation is like not depend upon this reactant. Okay, so this is the theoretical concept that has been used by the Jerram. So where this ZA and ZB are the valencies of the reacting ion A and B, and ZA plus ZB is the valencies of what? The activated complex AB. So the equilibrium constant for the given reaction can be given by using this equilibrium law, that is it is the what ratio of activities of the product upon activities of the reactant, that is activity of AB into activity of A into activity of B. Okay, so we have tried to find out the equilibrium constant for this reaction. So this is the equilibrium constant. So equilibrium constant can also be written as what? A ratio of rate constant of forward and backward reaction. So suppose this is the forward reaction and this is the backward reaction rate constant. So in terms of this also we can write down the rate constant. Okay, so this equilibrium constant is equals to what? A activity of AB upon activity of A into activity of B. And we know that the activity can be expressed in terms of concentration and activity coefficient as what? Activity is what? Concentration into activity coefficient. So simply we have like use that formula here. So this activity of AB is concentration of AB into activity coefficient of AB upon activity of A, which is nothing but what? Concentration of A into activity coefficient of A into concentration of B into activity coefficient of B. Okay, so this is the substitution for the activity. So if you want to like find out the value of concentration of that activated complex, what we need to do, just rearrange the above equation so that we can get the final equation of concentration of AB as K equilibrium into Ca, that is the concentration of A into activity coefficient of A into concentration of B into activity coefficient of B upon activity coefficient of activated complex, which is AB. So the rate of product formation will depends upon the concentration of AB. Why is it so? Because the equation or the reaction that has been considered for the Jerome mechanism is what? The rate constant of product formation is depends upon the concentration of only activated complex. So if you want to like write down the rate for that formation, the rate of formation is what? Activity or the concentration of this AB into rate constant of that for final reaction, that is K. So the final value will be what? K into K equilibrium into Ca into gamma A, Cb into gamma B upon gamma AB. So the experimental rate law is what? Like if you want to like perform the experiment, then there is no like exact way to find out the concentration of that activated complex. So we have to like find out the rate depending upon only the initial concentration of A and initial concentration of B. So the experimental rate law is what? Experimental rate law is depending upon the Kr, which is the experimental rate constant, into concentration of A into concentration of B. So we just equate that equation 2 and equation 3. So we can get the values of Kr, which is the equilibrium rate constant or the experimental rate constant, is equals to K, which is the another constant, into K equilibrium into gamma A gamma B upon gamma AB. So taking the log on the both side, that is log 10. Okay, we are taking the log to the base 10 on the both side, that is log Kr is equals to log K into K equilibrium plus log of gamma A plus log of gamma B minus log of gamma AB. But for this, okay, gamma AB, okay, or the gamma A, we are the that Debye-Huckel limiting law is there. So if you want to substitute that for gamma A gamma B, okay, so that is what? Log Kr is equals to log K0 minus, this is for gamma A value. So log gamma A is equals to minus 0.509 into ZA square into under root of I minus, this is for log gamma B, which is minus 0.509 into ZB square into under root of I, and here it is minus sign is there, so minus minus it will become plus, this is for the ZAB. But we know that ZAB value is what? ZAB is nothing but the addition of ZA plus ZB. Okay, ZA plus ZB. So we have to substitute that value here and we need to just expand the square bracket. So what is that expansion? Expansion is ZA square plus ZB square into 2 times the ZAB. So if you like expand that and simplify the final equation, we will get the log of this Kr is equals to log K0 plus 1.018 into ZA ZB into under root of I. Okay, so this is the effect of ionic strength on the rate constant or the experimental rate constant. So if you want to like plot this graph, we simply get what? Y is equals to this mx plus c. Okay, so this is the graph of the type y is equals to mx plus c. So there is a positive slope depending upon what the charges, that is za and zb, and there is an increasing slope if we consider this them has to be the same sign, and the log k0 is the y-intercept. Okay, so upon rearranging the above equation, we'll get the one important equation, that is log of kr minus log of k0, which is, we can write it as the log of kr upon k0, that is the ratio of rate constants, is equals to what, 1.018 into za into zb. So this is the expression that we have obtained for the final ratio of the rate constant. Okay, now the most important part skill of this whole derivation is, like you may be asked about, or you have been given the molecules differing in their initial charges, and you should like just tell the nature of given slope of the given graph. Okay, so if suppose that ions are having same charges, that is either positive positive or negative negative, then there must be what, increasing slope. Okay, or the positive slope is there, so either it is plus plus or minus minus. Okay, any of these reacting ions, if they are having the same charges, then there is a positive slope, and if the reacting ions are having opposite sign, if the reacting ions are having opposite sign, then there is what, negative slope, like is the case in the this last equation. And if there is a species which is being neutral, so any of the reacting species, if it is being the neutral one, then simply the overall rate constant value is independent of what, ionic strength of given solution. So these are the MCQ that might be formed for this equation. Okay, so in like June 2019, I guess, or December 2018. Okay, that exam, NET exam, has asked this straightforward question for the 4 marks. So you just need to like, they have given the one reaction. So reaction is like any ions, like suppose copper 2 plus in the, suppose copper 2 plus in the reacting with water to give the copper aqua complex. Okay, copper aqua complex. So what is the slope of this equation? So they have been given this graph. There are the option of 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, likewise they have given the various option. So the correct answer should be what, option number 3, or the line number 3 is corresponds to the slope, because this copper 2 is having the charge of plus 2, but this water molecule does not have any charge. Okay, so whatever the reacting ions that has been given, depending upon the charges of that reacting ions, you just need to tell the nature of slope of that particular graph. Okay, so this is the effect of ionic strength on the rate constant. So now we have been left with only last effect, which is the okay, there are the few examples that we can see for this effect of ionic strength. So consider first this. So here is what, this chromium urease complex, or the chromium urea complex having the charge of plus 3 reacting with water. Okay, so what is the product will be like substitution reaction, but we need to tell the rate constant of overall reaction. So how we can obtain that rate constant? So we just need to take the product of these two reacting molecules. So there is a plus 3 into 0. What is the answer? It should be 0. So the rate constant is what, independent of the ionic strength. Here second case also is containing what, ester molecule, but ester molecule is what, neutral one. So again the overall rate is independent of ionic strength. Now next is the molecule having the, both having the same charges, that is minus minus, so product is what, plus 2. So overall the rate constant or the slope is positive. So the rate constant of a reaction increases with what, increasing in the ionic strength of ions. Then next reaction is the Fe2 plus reacting with negative complex. So reaction slope is negative. So if you want to like increase the ionic strength of solution, then the overall rate of reaction decreases. So now next is, this is again what, similar type of charges are there. So rate of reaction increases upon increasing the ionic strength, here it is having the same charges, so again it is increases with increase in the ionic strength. So you just need to tell the nature of graph for the given reaction. Okay, so that type of examples might become in the like our MCQ type of exam also, and for the NET or GATE type of exam also. Okay, so this is the one of the important part of this chemical kinetics chapter. Okay, now next is the effect of substituent on the rate of reaction or the linear free energy relationship. So we'll try to discuss that in the next lecture. Okay.